Welcome back. You're tuned into Sports Federation TV, and it's time for the Vashes competition. Remember, Vashes, Cape Town's favorite cool drink, and everybody's got their Vashes story, and everybody's got their favorite flavor. Now, to win that case of assorted Vashes drinks, all you need to do is SMS Vashes to 33090. That's Vashes to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Bevan Cooper. You can expect that case of assorted Vashes drinks in the mail, Bevan Cooper. Now, joining me now from Deep Sea Angling is an administrator and an athlete, and he's here to shed more light on the sport. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you are a captain.
I captained the recent Western Province team to Parrish Nationals, yes.
Okay, Brendan Davids, welcome to Sports Federation TV. Now, deep sea angling is not a sport that's maybe that well known. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about it?
Sure. It actually is a very popular sport, made difficult by the fact that you obviously need a boat to do deep sea angling because you need to go to sea. The Western Province is very well established in the sport. We have various facets of it that you can participate in. There are four main facets. The first is bottom fishing. The second is game fishing. Then we have our tuna specific fishery here. And then we have the bullfish section of that is split between light tackle and heavy tackle. So the way people could get involved in the sport really is to become a member of a club. And there are several clubs, probably easiest to join the club closest to you and get involved in the Western Province League program. The league program is a very structured program and caters for both offshore league and inshore league. And through that, there's 6 fishing days, I think, a year that you participate in. And from that, you really get into the structures of Western Province competitive angling.
Well, speaking competition, what is the competitive aspect about this sport?
Winning competitions.
And how does one do that?
It depends in what facet you're fishing in. Specifically, I fish game fish and light tackle bullfish. So in our bullfish facet, we are not allowed to kill any fish. We release fish, so it's on a point system per fish. And the team that catches the most bullfish in the competition wins. We get more points if we handle the fish ethically, bonus points for that. Whereas your tuna facets, you take the fish out and weigh them. The biggest fish score more points than smaller fish, so obviously you're trying to catch the biggest fish possible in those facets of it.
Okay, so besides your own boat, what would one need to compete in the sport?
Enthusiasm. I think you don't need your own boat. I think if you get involved with your clubs, there's enough scope to come up through the ranks and get onto other people's boats and to learn about the sport. What is a key factor I've found is the fact that you don't get seasick. But even through medication, you can control that. But it does help if you're not prone to seasickness.
Right.
But really the only thing you need is the love for angling, and you need to have conservation in mind as well.
Mm-hmm. How many clubs do you have in the Western Cape?
I stand to be corrected. I can't tell you offhand, probably 6 or 7 deep sea angling clubs.
And is the development efforts by these clubs to get, well, let's say budding anglers into the sport?
They are. Each club has their own programs. And it remains the greatest challenge to get youngsters involved in the sport. I mean, historically, most of our anglers come through. If the father likes angling, then the son or the daughter will. So we do a lot of development. the big restriction in deep sea angling is the lack of sponsorship. So it is an expensive sport, and we are self-funded. We do need to try and take on a big sponsor to address the development issues at hand. At the moment, it's really just done at a club level.
Right, for those who can afford to do the sport.
Well, we also do development for those that can't.
Okay, well, excellent then.
But the penetration into people, a lot of people don't understand what we do. So where we can, we do help and have clinics and try and get the guys on boats and have coaching clinics for them to teach them the ropes.
So as opposed to fishing from the pier or from the beach, why would deep sea angling appeal to an angler?
I don't look. You're
Is
talking
it
to someone
adrenaline?
who loves all facets of angling. My speciality is deep sea, but I think it's just the thrill of being on the ocean. And in any one particular day, you could, the fishing is one aspect of it, but we could see whales. I could see a massive shark. I could see turtles, a pot of dolphin, beautiful sunrises, sunsets. It's just for me, the freedom of being on the water is just unparalleled.
Yeah, I thought you'd say something along those lines. It is. It must be magnificent to be out there. So the 2017 championships were held recently.
Parrish Nationals, yes.
Right. Can you tell us about that?
Western Province sent a team up. It was hosted by Zululand at their St. Lucia club. And I must say, it's probably the best organized competition I've ever been to. The organization, the boats, the food, just how the event was run was just simply seamless. It was a pleasure to be at. And yeah, we did very well. We brought back a gold medal for Western Province. Hopefully the selectors will consider us again for selection. But the competition itself was tough. The first day the weather was pretty good, and then we fished another 3 of the 4 days after that, and it was quite windy and there was quite a bit of swell, but luckily coming from Cape Town we are generally used to adverse weather conditions, so it actually played into our hand.
So at a competition of that magnitude, a national tournament, how many other teams are you competing against?
There were 17 at this competition.
17 from all over the country, well, the countries with beaches.
Yeah, so there's all over the country, and then SADSA, which is South African Deep Sea Angling Association, also selects teams to go.
All right.
So those sit above provincial level.
And you were named the captain for your squad in this particular tournament. Was it the first time you were a captain?
It's the first time I've been captain at senior level. I have captained at under 21 level, but that was for Eastern Province where I started by angling.
Okay. What kind of responsibility, how is the responsibility different from the rest of the crew?
I guess you just get to do more of the admin.
Yeah, the joys of being in charge.
I think the responsibility really comes down to you having to make the final calls as to the tactics of what you're going to do on a given day, given the weather conditions, given what's been happening with the fish. So yeah, a lot of effort went in beforehand to speak to the local guys and the skippers to find out what they've been catching on, where they've been catching, what's going on, and from that, making the ultimate decision as to tactically where we're going to go with the event.
Now, winning gold at a national tournament, competing against the country's finest, is such a great achievement. Does Western Province usually excel at these competitions?
We do excel at them. Game fishing is difficult because we don't have those species here. So the guys that fish game fishing and bullfish, generally we have to go and practice outside of the Western Province, East Coast, warm water, all over the world for that matter. So typically where we do very well is in the Tuna Nationals, because that's in our backyard and hosted here every year. And we do very well bottom fishing because we've got a lot of active fishermen in that. Having said that, we we've done very well in bull fishing and now game fishing. So yes, we can hold our own.
All right. Well, you've brought some photos of your super team, and we'd like to show the viewers who they are. So, is this some of your crew?
Yes. So on the left is one of the Protea selectors, Anton Getz, and then myself, and then Leander Witt, and our other team member Delano Goldberg. This was on our first day's boat called Watermark, and no surprises that our skipper's name was Mark.
Oh, okay. Oh, is this one of the catches?
That's a fish that I'm particularly proud of. That was a cooter that weighed 25.8 kilos that I caught on the first day. That is now the new South African record on 6 kilogram line.
Wow.
Which is a record that had stood for more than 30 years.
Wow. And yours was?
Well, that's mine, 25.8. The previous one was 25.
Well done.
This was on our day off. The wind was too strong to go out, so they took us into the St. Lucia Wildlife Reserve on a boat cruise.
Okay. Now, how is the sport administered in the Western Cape?
Well, there's Western Province Deep Sea Council. They make all the decisions that pertain to Western Province. I'm not involved in their structure, so they'd be better placed to ask them be. But I think the important thing in Western Province is the strength of the clubs and the competition between the clubs. And that's really where, what I spoke about earlier, where the league competitions come into play, which is an inter-club Western Province competition. And from that, they really distill out the better anglers. So
the driving force is basically the competition between the leagues. That's why you guys are so good. That's why you won gold.
Yeah, I don't know of any other province that fishes a league like we do. And I think it does give us a competitive edge.
All right. Do you have a Facebook presence?
I don't, no.
And the federation itself?
Western Province is on Facebook, yes.
All right, so if people wanted to get more information, Western Province.
The best place for people to start with Western Province is to try and get involved at a club level.
All right, okay.
Find a club that will support you and that is close to home, and get to know the guys, and we have an open arm policy when it comes to new people and new members, and where we can, we help as much as possible.
Okay, thank you for joining us and
Absolute
telling us
pleasure.
about deep sea angling, and well done again on winning gold at the championship.
Thank you very much
for Western Province. Well, that's it from Deep Sea Angling. After the break, Ansel Loubser, Cape Town Sports Council Sportswoman of the Year, will be joining us. Please stay tuned for that.